Hey guys, it's Caitlin. So in this week's video, my boyfriend Carson is going to be picking my March TBR. He's not much of a reader, but he has obviously seen my bookshelves. He knows the type of books I read, so I'm going to guide him to any books I haven't read yet, and he's just going to pick 5 out, and then I'll tell you guys what they're about and stuff, and I'm going to try and read them throughout March. So let's get started. So first I'm gonna tell him what each shelf of books is, and we're gonna go around. I'm just gonna put this in time lapse while he chooses, and then we'll regroup and we'll talk about the books he chose, and he'll tell you guys why he chose them. Ready?
Let's go, guys.
Okay, so he's chosen the books. It's quite a random selection. So basically he's going to tell us why he chose the book, and then I'll describe to you guys a little bit about what it's about, and that's how we're going to do it. Okay, so what is the first book?
Alright, so here's the first one. This one is called The Midwife of Auschwitz. So I picked this one because I found it was visually appealing, and I have an interest in history. So I think Caitlin should just read a little bit about this one and see how it goes. Okay. I'm excited to hear about it.
So yeah, The Midwife of Auschwitz by Anna Stewart. So from the back of the book, I got this book from my grandma because she really liked it, and so she gave it to me to read. I just haven't yet. So this is basically about 2 women who are midwives who are put into Auschwitz, and basically because they're midwives, they work with the little kids within the Holocaust and stuff. And towards the end, it says that they start to secretly tattoo little ones with their mother's numbers, praying one day they might be reunited. And one of them is pregnant, and it's this whole entire thing. And I guess basically you just follow their journey throughout surviving the Holocaust and trying to help the babies and their mothers sustain living through this. So I think this is a really good pick. I think I'm really gonna like this book, and I also do enjoy, especially when I was a little bit younger, reading about the war and the history within it, and I think this will be a very heartbreaking but good story.
Guys, so here's our second book, and it's called Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. And I picked this one because I know Caitlin likes pink, and this one caught my eye. And I also noticed that the romance, and Caitlin likes romance, and to be honest, that's it.
Okay, yeah, so Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I don't know too much about what this book is about, but I really do love Ali Hazelwood books. Last year I read 3. I read The Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically, and Deep End by Ali, so I did pick this one up a couple months ago. I haven't got to it yet, obviously, but I know it has something to do, both of them are very obsessed with Star Wars, I guess. And it says, gloriously nerdy and sexy with an on-point commentary about women in STEM. We love a woman in STEM book, so I'm pretty sure they're lab partners or something in grad school, and that's pretty much all I know. But I'm very excited. I do love pink, and I think this cover is absolutely adorable, and I can't wait to read this month.
Alright guys, and here's the third book that I picked, and this one is called Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon. And really, I just picked this book because I know that we just recently thrifted it, and I thought it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, so this book, basically, we did thrift. Carson takes me on thrifting shopping sprees, and I love them. So basically, from reading the back of this book, it does sound really interesting. It's about a girl named Maddie who has a super rare disease that doesn't allow her to leave the house for, I think it said 17 years. And then she sees this boy move in across the street, and she immediately is falling for him. And I think it's basically going to be a tragic love story. It says it's going to be a disaster on the back of the book. They're going to fall in love, but obviously no one can go in and see her, and she can't go out. So I think it's going to be really good. And it says here, soon to be a major motion picture. And I assume it already is then, based off the fact that it's a printed book. So if I like it, maybe we'll have to watch the movie.
And the fourth book that I picked is called The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. And I picked this book because just looking at the bookshelf, I saw that this one stuck out compared to the other ones. And I saw there was a football in the back. and I'm interested in sports, and I think Caitlin would have a fun read.
Yeah, so basically, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata. If you don't know anything about her, basically she's like an author that's known for like having the slowest burn romance. Like they won't even get into a romance until like the last 10 pages or something. That's what I've heard. But basically, from the back of this book, what I've gathered is she's like an assistant for, it says, the top defensive end in the National Football Organization, and then she just decides to quit because she's sick of it. He's not very nice to her, but then he shows up back at her house and he like knocks on the door and he's like asking her to come back. The back is pretty broad and that's all it gives us. I got this book on my birthday from one of my good friends and I haven't read it yet, but I've been wanting to read a Mariana Zapata book for so long to see what the hype is about, so I think this was a really good pick.
Right, and here's the 5th book that I picked, called Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And I picked this book because I knew it was a fantasy and I wanted to switch it up compared to the other ones that I picked. And I thought it was cool with the little design on the front, how the snake is kind of like 3D and it comes out. And that's why I picked this book.
Yeah, so Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. If you didn't know, Leigh Bardugo basically writes the Six of Crows duology and the Shadow and Bone books. I finished Six of Crows and I plan to read Crooked Kingdom soon, and then I have read Shadow and Bone, so I do really like her writing. From the back of this book, it sounds like it's basically about a girl who's like basically like has no goals in life. She doesn't have a job, she's not in school, she's just have like, it said, shady drug dealer ex-boyfriends, and something happens and she ends up in a hospital bed, and this man comes and he's like, you get a full ride to Yale University, and she's really confused. And then basically it says she has to monitor the activities of Yale's secret society, and there's like a bunch of like morbid things coming on. It says like they tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. I've heard nothing but good about this book. It's dark academia, which I've only read one other book that was, and I really liked it. And you know it's going to be a good book when Stephen King is on the front saying the best fantasy novel he's read in years. So I'm very excited about this one.
6th and final book that I chose, this one is called Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. And I decided to pick this book for a variety of reasons. First, I thought it was a pretty cool looking book. And I was looking at this book maybe like 4 months ago to get it for Caitlin, and then she ended up getting it for herself. But I know the little backstory of this book, and I think it's just pretty cool. And I know we recently watched a movie from this author, and it was pretty cool. So I think Caitlin will like this book, and I'm excited to hear about it.
I definitely will like this book. So yeah, we watched the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, and we both really liked it. I've also read the book to it, so really like that book as well. But basically, it sounds like from this book on the like front cover sleeve, it's about this girl who is like waiting for her life to start, and then on Halloween night she gets attacked and she suffers this, it says, catastrophic brain injury, and basically she only has a week until it causes an aneurysm and kills her. And she's determined if she's gonna do one thing before she dies, she's gonna figure out who was trying to murder her, and like obviously is potentially gonna succeed like by the end of the week. And that concept just sounds really cool to me. I've never read a book where it's like this. Like there's literally sections for like Monday to Friday of like her progress and stuff, and I think it would be like a really good like thriller that would like keep me really I can't think of the word. Engaged and just wanting to read more. So I think this was an amazing last book pick.
I think this is gonna be pretty cool.
Yes. All right, and that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed me with my little guest star here. Basically, if you guys want to see me do reading vlogs for any of these books, I'm not sure I'll be able to get all of them done by the end of March. I'm currently reading Alchemize, which he bought me, so that's definitely going to take up lots of the month. But if you guys do want to see me read every single one of these on vlog, let me know and I will do that. So yeah, we will see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.